works, it should start. There you go.
There it is.
There you go. So now you're live on this one here. But one thing you'll notice is the, what do you call it, latency. Latency means big time delays.
Time
I
to
see that.
The, what I've noticed is up to 8 seconds. But it doesn't matter as long as you're here and you're looking at your screen. Like when I'm back there, I'm only looking maybe just a second or two. So it's a very small latency. If somebody gets too close to the back there and they can hear those headphones, you can tell. It's like an echo. So it's like maybe half of a second delay. That's how come I have the headphones on, and not because of other reasons. It's because I have to hear what's really going out, not what you're saying. Because what you're saying, everybody can hear, but that may not be what's going out. Then you can see it on the picture too. So I'm looking at the pictures, and the pictures are delayed.
What causes the delay?
It's just signals. A lot of it has to do with processing. You're taking video, you're converting it into a digital signal, and then transmitting it from this device to this device to this device to the YF or the Wi-Fi, and then back again, because it comes back to me through a channel just like you're watching it at home. So it's got to come back through.
Is there any way to speed up that delay, or it's just that always gonna be that way?
It's gonna be that way, and it's gonna be. It doesn't matter when you turn it on and you're looking at it through your phone at home. You have no. It doesn't matter because you're looking at it in real time yourself, but you're not. Just because you're 2 minutes off, it doesn't matter because you're watching it. You could even be watching it tomorrow. You're watching it in your time, and there's nothing missing. It's just in your time.
So you only know it's off when you're doing the actual recording and
Yeah.
paying attention.
And I have to adjust. This camera I use for sound. If I'm using that camera for picture, sound travels at a certain speed. I have to adjust. I have to actually put that into the software, saying, okay, the sound is off this much. And it actually compensates. If you don't do that, you've got a really bad reverb. Whatever you say, it's like a reverb, you know.
Like in old Chinese movies when they're talking.
Yeah,
Remember those?
Yeah.
yeah, but you actually see that one straight up lag.
You get over here.
That's one of those conversion ones.
They're like that. We are.
Yeah.
Yeah, now that would be like latency from overseas. No, actually, they didn't know, they didn't have the tools right now to adjust. In other words, it's built into the software that I can adjust for those latencies. And I actually, all these cameras, I can, between what's being transmitted and each of these cameras is 3 frames. So what I send out, I have to speed up what's sent out 3 frames to match these cameras. So so now then, at this point, you've got kind of the whole live stream for this device here. Now this device here, you notice there's no program. It's going here to YouTube. And I don't even have a way to measure you can maybe go on Stream Health. It says it's healthy.
So
But
that's
it doesn't-
basically just saying that you got a good signal, right?
Yeah, but I was looking for something, there is something, what I sent you, it gives you some other graphics on it, it's through the studio, but I'm like, it's not really important. try to cover it or search for it. But the vMix, the program that be a little bit later, actually has the percentage of the CPU that's being used at, you know, and if I was using this one, vMix says 100% maxed out. You ain't got no place to go. And so you start the live stream, the first thing you see is yellow light saying, you ain't going nowhere. So, but this is straight out, so you're not putting the Edge, Microsoft Edge. Well, actually you are, because we're actually using Edge right here.
So I know, when I was setting up for the live stream and stuff like that at the other church, we had to actually come out, of the soundboard and into the audio port on the deal, just so that way they can pick up signal, cause it won't do it just like that, it won't pick you up.
Yeah, these cameras do, and they do it really well. Actually, it will pick up almost stereo. That one there's the one mic on top here, will actually pick up stereo.
Oh, okay.
From, if somebody's sitting right there, I can hit, there's a,
So that's what we need in the back and recording all the time, so when they're talking about me when I'm up there preaching, I can catch them all.
well, all you have to do is just look at the live
He
stream.
must have slipped his hair back today.
Everything they do is going out on the live stream. Just look at the live stream.
Right?
Everything they say, every sneeze, every loud clap.
No, she trying to give me the massage. Man, cool, she gonna fall asleep.
No, man, we're in class, bro.
That's what I said.
Pay attention.
So anyway, like people were loud clapping and stuff like that.
Yeah.
These here cameras are self-adjusting. So if somebody's right below it or even in an area clapping loud, the camera automatically adjusts. So basically it like quiets everybody else down and all you hear is the loud clapping. Or you get like a loud singer in the front row.
Who's that?
Not saying no names. Be nice.
Bad.
Be nice. Not that he's off key or even close to the same song.
Hey, it's all right.
Off beat and everything.
Everything goes, it's all right.
He was led by the Holy Spirit.
Amen.
Holy Spirit was on a different song.
Yeah,
Okay, so I have to get back to normal. Okay, so now then, this is basic, doesn't need the extra program. Now then, trying to disable that.
So is that right there, is that basically all we need, huh?
Yeah, for you guys to do a live stream
Yeah.
without all of my stuff, this is basic.
So,
Camera, capture, laptop. Or actually, you might be able to use that. I don't know what processor that has in it.
oh, the computer?
Yeah, because like this here laptop here I was doing 5 different things at once. I was burning a DVD, I was editing the print deal for the cover of the DVD, and I was doing gathering pictures for the DVD. I had all those programs running at the same time.
So I wonder if we should shoot another cable from there up and over, come down just specifically for that. So that we're not running cables across the deal like this.
Well, if you basically use this camera, you could take like this camera and hook it up right straight there and basically use it and then use that. It goes, from that one it goes right straight down to that table.
Right.
So all you'd have to do is get it over to that one.
So it'd be better for us just to run a whole new set of cables, so that way if you, say you went on vacation or whatever, we don't have to mess with nothing that you have. We just use what we got coming down for this one, so that way we can just connect. Cause we would put the tripod up against the wall that way, where probably on top of that table, or move the table out and set it up that way.
Basically like I started,
Right.
That's why I started, I sit right back there. me and Sandra. Sandra would be from Alaska there. She had her little camera, and I was sitting there right next to her with that camera. But yeah, as far as live streaming, you need to get to that one. So there's no
The only issue,
HDMI from there to there.
so the only issue would be that we use that for our song service too, you know? So we would have to have a complete different setup to live stream that way, because we can do, well, not really though, because we can do song service, and then after song service, then switch it over to the live stream, right? But then that's all bad for the people that wanna sing along, that are watching.
Well,
Well, why don't you just get a laptop, just keep it the same setup, just have a laptop, tripod, camera, wires just right there on the table.
Yeah, that's, I think that's what
that's
we're gonna do.
probably the best thing. The other thing I was telling,
I know,
Oh,
I'm
his
looking at
monitor?
that.
No, he takes it home.
What is that for?
There's a little stand there, because he tells me when I'm live and stuff like that.
No, this one here, that,
Yeah, the little one?
oh,
Yeah, that tells me when I'm live.
oh.
that's what's on that screen right there is going out live.
Yeah,
That's the exact same video that goes out live.
So
That's
when you switch camera from that one to that one, it'll
It
show?
shows.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, in other words, the output to the live stream is an output that's actually sent to that video from that software.
Okay.
So whatever goes out,
So
that's,
what they're seeing on their end, who's watching from home, is what I'm seeing right there.
Mm.
yeah, when he takes a dive off the platform, then I have to
Switch.
make adjustments really quick.
Real quick.
When another one goes from end to end, and you're like, and these things are like,
Okay, he's already over there.
then he's back over here, and he's back over there, and you're like, so you have to go really wide. So you really can't see anybody, but it's like, oh, well, you can. He's there. You just find him, you know. But it's the guy going back and forth. These things are not dependable as far as speed goes. I put like a new battery and I get everything working, and that one there or any one of them will work a different speed than as the battery goes down a little bit. Or this one here, for some reason, I don't know if it's because of the length of the cable for the control cord, because this actually control cord goes clear back to those little remotes that I have back there. It's like a snail, even on high speed. It's like, and you hear it on the video. If I'm moving this camera, you hear it on the video. So I try not to use that too much because I use that camera a lot. That camera mics, because it picks up the speaker and somebody praying without a mic.
Mm.
It picks up everything.
Oh, wow.
It picks up
Especially if you're
everybody
sitting there and
talking.
Exactly. Yeah. So when churches, if you go on live stream before it starts, if you check out a video on YouTube, you'll hear everybody talking and what they're saying and stuff.
I try to, like on the DVDs, I cut that off. I trim it, and I can trim it, you can trim it too. You get on there and you can trim to narrow it down. You can trim off that leading edge and trailing edge too.
Hey, John, so each camera has its own cord that connects down to your, what is that little thing that you guys have?
Capture device.
The capture device, right? Each camera has to be plugged into the capture device.
No, each one has its own capture device.
Oh, each one has its own capture
Yeah,
device.
you can see back there, there's, I have four of these behind the computer.
Oh, okay.
So.
And each capture device has to be plugged into the USB port.
Mhm.
That's why you need that big USB port, that big thing that you plug into, and you have multiple ports now?
Yeah.
Yes,
That's
okay.
right. Well, that computer is a gaming computer, and it has enough ports that it handles everything. In other words, it has 4 USB ports, and these are the high-speed ports, not the USB 2s, but these are the USB 3 ports.
Oh,
So it's high speed, so you talk about latency,
yeah.
so you want to reduce the latency as much as possible
Yeah.
by getting, no bottlenecks.
Right.
And so I plug these right straight into the USB 3, and this one here is a USB 3, and a lot of them you can tell they're the USB 3 because they're blue on the inside
Mm.
when you look, when it plugs into the computer,
Right.
if you look at it, I'll lose something. But anyway, if you look at it and it's blue on the inside, that usually means it's USB 3. It doesn't necessarily, in other words, somebody else may make a USB 3 that didn't use blue, but that was supposed to be, I guess, a standard. So, I found that not to be, China and some of those other, the third party stuff that comes in, they don't follow some of these standards, so. I wish they did, but they don't. So anyway, USB 3 in to this here. Did that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay. Now back here, I have a big one of these, but not for video, not for communications. I'm just using it for power. So it's basically a USB power that powers that monitor, and it powers the two tally lights back there. These tally lights will run off the little battery hanging down.
Mm-hmm. So you have camera, you have the little deal that hooks on the top for the remote, then you have the pan and tilt, then you have
Well, you don't need the pan and tilt if you're gonna do a single camera.
Right, no, I'm just thinking what you have here.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get it all down. It's a
Yeah.
pretty cool system the way you got it set up.
Yeah. A lot of this stuff is like, it started off with a little camera and a little, and as you move the camera, you start, jerky and stuff like that. So you kind of like get it set where you want it to go and just basically hands off. And usually what I try to do is keep it out of tripping area.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, everybody is paying attention about where they're gonna sit and stuff like that. They're not paying attention to where their feet are. And so a tripod stand, especially this one here, when you get up high enough to reach over people's heads, then that tripod gets, even if you put two fit legs back against the wall, one leg is still out there quite a ways.
Yeah.
And I've tried things like putting chairs there, and people come and grab the chair and they walk off of the chair. I mean, it's like weird stuff. So you just kind of like, you just gotta protect the camera, And the thing is, right now, the big problem with that camera that's on right now is somebody coming through the back door. And I don't know if you've noticed that. All of a sudden the camera would jitter. As somebody came through the back door, makes that camera jitter. Doesn't make any of the other ones jitter, just that one. So it's like, it's somehow connected structure-wise or something. That wall to that wall or something, that door. And it's not, I said, man, you really need to get one of those hydraulic deals there. It has one. So, but apparently it still hits hard enough on that jam that you can see it jitter.
We'll have to adjust that then, so it don't close as hard.
Just maybe a slight adjustment, but I don't know how much because, and I just figured out that it's gotta be that door, cause it's like, so today I was like, I seen a jitter on that deal there, and I looked up, sure enough, somebody had come into the kitchen from the back door. So I was like, yeah, okay, that's timed right, there's no one else coming in now. I thought it was somebody banging against that wall or something. It's like, no, there's nobody back here, it's just me. So, yes, something to do, they're tied. But you'll get into that when you get, it's like, a lot of it is just trying to get a live stream out, and a lot of people that are watching it are turned off by homemade stuff, and it's like, I've some of them, like up in South Dakota, they were live streaming their service. Oh yeah, okay, so I got on there, I watched it. And they had like a phone or something that they were live streaming with, right? Pointed at the pulpit, yay big by yay big. It would be nice if the pastor actually used the pulpit. Most of the video, there was nobody there. You could hear him talking, but there was nobody at the pulpit. Like, okay, that's a good video, it's like, but then so okay, I'll see if I can find them. That's fun, and it's jittery. Now these cameras here, both this one and this one, have anti-jitter, anti-jar. So supposedly, like when somebody went to the back door back there, that was supposed to be able to handle it, which it probably did to an extent. In other words, it's like the lens actually floats. So if it jitters, it actually tries to keep where it was. So anyway,
Like a balancer or something?
it's,
Yeah, like an maybe inner balancer or something like that, or?
well, you've seen some of those that actually floated on water, like you call like, I don't know if you ever seen one of those old 8 balls?
Yeah.
You had the
Oh,
little
that
thing.
little thing in the middle,
Yeah,
yeah.
and the little floating thing, and then when it floated to the top, you could see something.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that camera could like that, but instead of using liquid, they used like 4 pivots. So they're like needle pivots, so they're really fine, and so it's actually, and then they use like a weight at the bottom, so it stays wherever you point it, it stays there
Yeah.
to a point. This will also, like on the other one, it's like face detect. What it does is takes like the big screen, you take a big screen and then use face detect, it cuts the screen down and then it'll try to follow the face within the limits of where it cut down to. Now, depending on how much you cut down, but you have to leave it wide for it to be able to cover. In other words, if somebody's walking from here to here, then you have to have the screen big enough so that it would cover his face in the center of the screen that you have at the outer edges. So when he gets that in, then it'll automatically, when it's like, oh, I can't go any further, so then he's gonna start moving towards the edge. But if you see it like it's like, how do they do that? How do they have these camera operators that are actually able to follow, like you see like some of these ministers stuff in there, and it's like locked on their face, and you see the background moving. I'm like, wow, that's a good camera operator. Or it's technology that it does face recognition, and it follows the face, but it has a bigger screen. With 4K, you've got high definition, but when you lower it down you zoom in, you don't have the 4K. It's like a 2K because you're getting closer, and you get once you get too close, too magnified, it's pixelated. Okay, so that's like not even 2K. That's like just standard video. Starting at 4K, then I can zoom in, and I have done that. I've got a program. I've got it on the other ones, but apparently I don't have it on this one. So yeah, here I do, right here. I just don't have it. This is the software I use to make the DVDs. Sometimes especially on this new software, when you get it set up, this is a new computer, so it's just getting set up, and a lot of the stuff I turned off, like this right here. I didn't want to see that, so I turned it off. Obviously, it's not turned off. But here you load in your video. I'll just take this one here. We like what is bicycles? It doesn't have sound with it, huh? Okay, when it's down in this area here, and then you can stretch it out.
This is the editing part, right?
Yeah, well, actually, this is how I make them, because I take each camera and load it into a track. Each camera has its own sound. So it has it right here, it has a black section below it, that's for sound. So it'll have the picture and the sound. And then as you add, you just keep increasing tracks till you have all tracks, including, what I do is I start off with the live stream. I put the live stream in the first track, then the blue camera, green camera, red camera, and then the prompter. Okay, they're all on there. Then I click on a certain program, and it sits there and takes everything and syncs it to what it hears. So in other words, it uses a sound that is recorded and syncs it perfect. Except the video that goes out live stream is 3 frames behind. So I right away have to take and adjust the sound, or adjust the video speed to match the cameras. I have to basically speed the live stream back up to the camera speed. And it's 3 frames, 3 to 4, actually I've seen it up clear up to 5 frames. So a lot of it has to do with how busy it is. When I was doing this here, that machine, and I suppose this machine also, can put out 3 different places. In other words, Facebook, YouTube, and somebody else. And we were doing Facebook and YouTube at Golden Harvest, but we decided to do away with Facebook because Facebook was here at Glorious Gospel because they were getting kind of, they cut us off. They were the one, was it YouTube that cut us off or Facebook?
No, it was Facebook.
Facebook kind of, what it is, you know that music we're playing at the beginning of the service, before the service starts? Well, I started the live stream, you know, maybe a second before he cut the sound off to that music that was playing. They locked in on that and cut us off because that's copyrighted material. But we have an we have an FL, you know, we have a license for that supposedly, and then they're like, well, now you have to follow these rules. I said, okay, I'll follow these rules. And they still cut us off. And you're like, somebody in Africa said they owned a song. Okay, well, we decided, you know, we discounted them, we threw it away. And about 2 hours later, after the service was over, they decided that that was a bogus claim. Okay. That does great for a live stream.
Yeah.
So we cut them off. YouTube, they basically, okay, I'm gonna cut this off and go back to YouTube. This is part of the, no, I don't want to say that. Okay, here on the YouTube. Lost that train of thought. Okay, on the comment section. It came back. That old age thing. Okay, somewhere in this comment section. I think it's in the. I don't see it. There's some place where you basically got the description, but I don't see it here. When you get on YouTube or they want a description, in the description we put the license, CCLI license number in there. In other words, that covers everything as an agreement between what we're playing and CCLI. And that agreement between those two people is the agreement that we are allowed to use. In other words, we have the license or permission to play that video or whatever it is. In other words, we are licensed to play that. We have been given permission because of the agreement between CCLI and whoever created the video or sounds or whatever it is. Okay, the royalties are paid by CCLI to the individual when we play. In other words, we send a list of what we played in services. It depends on, it varies sometimes yearly or every 6 months or however they require or whatever. But you send them the list and they send out the royalties required to each of those creators, each person who has a copyright. Okay, if somebody else comes in and says, I own that song, it's like, no, you don't own that song. Facebook cut us off anyway. Oh, well, we found out they didn't really own that. Whoops. So you just destroyed a whole church service because somebody in Africa wanted to, and it has to do with money. It says, okay, if we collected money for what we, in other words, if you had to pay tickets for seats or something like that, they could, monetization would mean that, oh, well, they would collect that money for that performance because they had copyright material in it that they own. Well, that's not really what they're after. they're after the advertising, okay? We don't have advertising, right? Doesn't matter. If they put a claim on it, they claim the monetization, they can add whatever they want. They can add pornography, anything they want to your site for advertising. And you can't do anything about it because they have a claim on a song that we have a license to. In other words, it's a bogus claim or whatever. So that's on the last page if you want to know where we are on the, where that was on the outline.
People are cuckoo, man.
Huh.
They're crazy.
It about made me to decide to almost just get out of this completely because it was so crooked. It was like, you gotta be kidding me. You start saying things, you start telling the truth to people, they'll cut you off. Huh? It's like, oh yeah, that's misinformation. It's like, no, the lies are the misinformation, not the truth. No. We're talking about their reality, not reality. So anyway. Okay, so now the other thing, these here did not work and were crashing every about 2 minutes. In other words, you plug it in, get it working, it didn't even work on this one here this time. But now I'm actually working, this is actually running right now, and it's actually live streaming to my site. But 2 minutes, the video would lock up. The sound would still keep playing, but the video would lock up. Okay? So if you get one of these, you have to be careful. It turned out it was a version, so you could download a version, a revision. And since we're on it, I can show you where to, if I can get that to come up. I told it to open, but I don't think it's going to open. I may have to stop.